Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the instant match reaction. Everton 3, Burnley 1. Not as straightforward as that, as we've seen certainly in the first half. A tough game today. Obviously, the starting line are pretty much what we expected. Same team as last week, obviously with Ashley Williams coming back into the side. And Burnley did not make it easy for us. They went with two up front. They went long a lot, but not as much as you'd expect. They tried to pin our two centre-backs back as much as they could, press really high up, stop Schneiderlin getting on the ball as well, and a lot of that first half, it really worked. They really put us under pressure. They stopped us from playing. They stopped us getting the ball out quickly from the back. I think having someone on, right on top of Schneiderlin really disrupted us as well, and we just couldn't get going. There was a lot of little fouls. They were actually being really clever, like Barton being quite clever and buying a lot of fouls, getting a lot of set pieces into us and really upsetting us first half. Yeah, it was difficult. It was frustrating. Obviously, with the good run we've been on, trying to get a foothold in the game. But to be honest, that's I expected something like that. I expected to come. They're not the type of team that are just going to roll over, and that's why they've done as well as they have at home. You can understand why they've done so well at home, playing that kind of way. And as I say, it upset the balance. We started to get a little bit of a foothold in the game towards the second half of the first half. They'd had a couple of chances, really good chances, to be fair to them. It's a good job the lad up front they've got is a bit of a lump, because he got away from Jagielka a couple of times. Luckily enough, we got away with it when Jags got back and Holgate got it away, and also when Joe Robles saved us. So we got away with it. They'd had a little bit more pace up there. I mean, I thought Andre Gray had play actually to capitalise on too, but they just stopped us playing, and there was a little tweak towards the end of the first half with Leighton Baines getting a lot more further forward down the left. Morales coming a little bit more central to help Rom out, because Rom had really struggled to. He's not a classic sort of centre forward, hold the ball up kind of player anyway, but he really struggled to get any kind of grip on the game at all. So we tried that to try and get people around them, and it worked. I mean, to be fair to Ron, we had a chance in about the first 5 minutes, and we put it away. The game could have been, completely different, but he didn't. He hit it straight at the keeper, and we had a few of them actually. We had a few of those chances where we hit it straight at the keeper. I thought it was going to be very frustrating. Obviously, second half we came out. Garner went off, after he'd got a booking. Valencia came on, opened the game up a little bit, and it didn't take long before us to get the first goal. Obviously, another set piece again. Jagielka couldn't quite get it the first time, but got it on the second attempt. And obviously, the goal line, even though it was way over the goal line technology, I think, give the goal. And you thought, yeah, here we go. Oh, fantastic. Jags, obviously, now that he's on a streak of scoring goals, thought it'd be a good idea to do a little celebration with the cartwheel. Jags, don't, mate. You'll put your back out. You're not 22. You'll put your back out. Stop it. Behave yourself. So that got 1-0 up, and I'm thinking, right, that build on that, and as Everton only can, we give the lead up after only a few minutes. Burnley with a little bit more, I think, room in midfield because of the changes we've made to the midfield, and Ross coming a little bit more central, and little ball into the box, players going absolutely nowhere, and Joel for some reason chases after him, and as soon as I seen him chase after him, I thought, you've done it here, lad, you've done it, because I knew you could tell. It was if he threw any challenge in, he was the back to the striker. The striker will go down. Anywhere else, it's a foul, and it's a penalty. Absolutely idiot decision, which you can't make if you want to be a top goalie. You just can't make those decisions. You've just got to. The lad's going away from goal. You just have to either shepherd them out and make it difficult for them, or you stay on your line. Whatever. You can't do that. They get the penalty, and it's 1-1 before we know it, and you're thinking, oh, here we go, frustration again. How are we going to be able to break them down? And Morales has had a couple of decent chances. He hit the post, but he had a chance before that where he should have really hit the target. He scuffed one back to the keeper as well, and I'm thinking, oh, it's not going to be one of those days after, you know, the run we've been on, and obviously I didn't have an away win. And also because my nephew decided he was going to make his triumphant return to Goodison Park today. He hasn't been seen at Goodison since the Derby defeat. Aidan Howland. So he made his return, which I was a little bit annoyed at, you know, jumping on the bandwagon, even though he's had a season ticket for years, like, but you know, Ross Barkley obviously come under a lot of headlines this week. Has actually helped change the course of Everton Football Club's history today, Ross Barkley anyway, with the banning of the Sun newspaper, which is fantastic news, and well done to Everton Football Club for doing that. And it had to be him, didn't it, to get the to change the game. Now he scored the goal. Now I've only seen it once. I've literally come in from the match and I've sat down to do this. I've only seen it the once. It looked like it was going into me before it got the deflection. I might be wrong. It should be his goal as far as I'm concerned. If Lukaku's goal against Sunderland is the second goal is his goal, then this should be Ross's as far as I'm concerned. But he's gone in. He's made it 2-1. He's gone to the Gladys Street. He's given all that with the badge. Telling us he's a blue. Fantastic response by that lad. Fantastic. Who up to them was having a bit of a mixed game at times. You know, at times he was doing brilliant things, or other times he was wanting a little bit too much on the ball. But he keeps going. That's what I love about Ross Barkley. He keeps going. It doesn't get him down. He keeps going. That made it 2-1. And before Burnley really had a chance to try and get back into it, Lukaku has got the third with a bit of power and pace and smashes it in. That made it 3-1 and effectively game over. Rom again didn't have much to do, but again when Valencia came on, you seen, I think, the real Romelu Lukaku. Yeah, but what can you say? We're doing all right, aren't we? So you can't really say anything. So, but Valencia himself, he came on half time. He was great. A lot of questions now. You know, would you keep him for another year? I mean, or would you buy him? Or, you know, his impact off the bench is fantastic. Okay, he's not a great starter, but his impact off the bench, I mean, listen, the lad might want more than that, mightn't he? Might want more out of it. But when he comes on, he buzzes around and he makes teams work a little bit harder and it opens spaces up for Rom. And he's got that. And I love that about him. You know, you always need a player like that, I think. I mean, obviously, as you go higher up, you need a player with more quality who's like that. But you'd always need a willing player off the bench who do those things for you. So he's had a great impact every time he's come on. We've seen it a couple of weeks ago against Hull when he came on. Again, fantastic impact. Love seems to really enjoy it, and you know, he had a great half. So fair play to him. But you know, we've seen the game out. No real issues. Although just springing to mind very quickly, Ross Barkley, 2 headers off the line. Again, you know, that's the other side of this kid's game that's come on so much recently since Koeman has got involved. How many times now do we see him winning headers and corners? He's had 2 off the line today. You know, they're worth a goal on their own. You know, especially, you know, obviously one in the first half from Keane when it was 0-0, and he's got one second half when it was 3-1, which could have made the last part of the game a little bit dicey. But again, that's the other side that Ross was starting to see now. And obviously there's been a lot of talk about of his contract and stuff, but surely he's got to look at how his all-round game has developed in the last few months and think that's because of the manager. So, I mean, that's, you know, we'll wait and see. That'll develop more. And just mentioned there Michael Keane. I thought he was great for Burnley today, and you can understand why he's such a prize asset. And you know, I think he'd slot in very nicely in our defence. And also the fact that he came out with the ball nice and comfortable as well. He's a big lad, he's got a little bit of pace. He'd do the job for us nicely. So, fair play to Burnley. I thought they played well today. They didn't just sit back and say, we're going to take it. They had a go in their own way. It wasn't pretty at times, but fair play. You know, I appreciate that more than a team either just come and sit back or being all over the place. They had tactics, they stuck to them, but the class rose to the top in the end, and we've got the 3 points. And as I say, it wasn't an easy game, but we got there. Very, you know, there's going to be lots to talk about. A lot to talk about with Joel, Lukaku, Ross Barkley. I thought Holgate was great. at right back. I thought he looked like a proper right back today, getting up and providing loads of really decent crosses as well. I thought when Sneijder sort of got the shackles off of the Burnley players, I thought he had a good game. Tom Davies as well. The only thing I would say is that these games frustrate me at times because we need to be a little bit more, I think, earlier on the game, up for the fight. And I think that's what Burnley were for the first 15 minutes or so. They were up for the fight more than we were. We wanted everything was about football, which is great, but I think sometimes you've got to be able to dig in and fight your way out of a game. So a little bit more of that at times. Too many players at times just trying to nick the ball rather than going in full-heartedly for a tackle and making sure they've won it first. But, those things will come, especially with the younger players. It's another win. Listen, we're flying as it stands. We're fifth in the Premier League. Obviously, those other teams have got games in hand, but this is all we can do. This is all we can do to affect what we're doing. We're up to fifth, and let's keep winning. West Ham next week won't be easy, but listen, they're not great at the back and we're scoring goals, and that's all it's about, isn't it? So let us know your thoughts in the comments as well. Don't forget we picked the best ones out for the Your Comment show. So do that for us. Watch Baz's videos as well, his instant reaction, his player ratings, and we'll be back. I'll certainly be back for the final word on Monday. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.